Are you an adult human who wishes to learn how to ski? Or one who already knows how to ski but wishes to get better?
If the answer is yes, then I've got good news and bad news. The bad news is that skiing technique does not come naturally. In fact, it's pretty damn counterintuitive. The good news is that I'm going to simplify the main things you need to know in order to have control and confidence skiing the majority of slopes, including black runs. So in this video, we're going to cover the 2 golden rules of skiing technique. I'm George, by the way. I'm a BASI Level 4 ski instructor in the European Alps. I've been working as a ski instructor for over 10 years in Japan, New Zealand and the Alps, and I've taught a few thousand people of all shapes and sizes and ages and abilities how to improve their skiing.
In order to achieve good quality parallel skiing, you must first understand where to balance in 2 dimensions. Firstly, your left to right balance, and this is summarized by golden rule number 1. And secondly, your forwards to backwards balance, and this is summarized by golden rule number 2.
Golden rule number 1 of ski technique: balance on the outer ski when turning. The outer ski is the ski furthest from the center of the turn. Basically, if you're turning left, balance on the right ski, and if you're turning right, balance on the left ski. This is not natural, but it is a vital part of being stable on a pair of skis. And by the way, it's the inner edge of the outer ski specifically. So tip the outer ski onto its inner edge and balance your body weight over it when you're making a turn. So how do we balance on the outer ski? Well, there's a couple of ways that you can think about this. First, you can think about balancing your weight on the outer ski and moving your upper body toward the outer ski to help with that. Or you can think about taking the weight off your inner leg by making that leg shorter. I'll take you through a few drills to help you achieve these outcomes in another tutorial and in the ski drill library, but for now, let's think about your specific level and how the first golden rule can help you. If you're a beginner, balancing on the outer ski will help you to progress from snowplow to parallel skiing. If you're an intermediate, balancing on the outer ski will help you to maintain control when progressing to faster speeds or steeper slopes. And if you are advanced, then balancing on the outer ski will help you improve your carving or your short turns. In order to obey this golden rule, you must fight against your instincts, since it's natural to want to lean the way that you're turning. It's human nature to want to lean the way you're turning and therefore balance on the inner ski. But it's a vital part of strong skiing to balance on the outer ski, and that's why I've taken so much care to pass on this simple message.
And you might ask, why? Why, George? Why must I balance on the outer ski when turning? Well, you can think of it this way. If you want to go from side to side, it's much easier to go from the outer foot to the outer foot than it is to go from the inner foot to the inner foot.
Okay, so golden rule number 2 is don't lean back. Instead, your goal is to keep your body roughly perpendicular to the skis.
So where golden rule number 1 is about your balance from left to right, golden rule number 2 is about where you balance from forwards to backwards. And your instinct when you learn to ski is to lean backwards, but your position of best control is to be balanced in the middle of your skis.
As a general rule, aim to keep your body roughly perpendicular to the skis and avoid leaning back. This is the position of best control. When you balance in the middle, you get 3 main benefits. Firstly, you get access to the full length of the edges of the skis. Secondly, easier turning by pivoting the skis from the center. And thirdly, it's less tiring because you don't need to work your muscles as hard.
Now, your instinct is going to be to think that leaning forwards is like the accelerator pedal and leaning back is like braking, but actually this is not the case. Leaning back is actually more like the having no control button. So how can you achieve golden rule number 2 and not lean back?
A quick by the way first though, because I get asked a lot about where I film these ski videos, and the answer is up there in Avoria, in the heart of the enormous Port du Soleil ski area. This snow sport paradise of a ski resort sits on a plateau at 1,800 meters, offering reliable snow conditions and terrain for all ability levels. I make these videos with real-world footage and insights from my real-world experiences working as a ski instructor. But unfortunately, human video creators like myself are under threat from an incoming tide of AI-generated video overwhelming internet platforms. But you can help, and all you have to do is click the subscribe button so that I can continue sharing with you my ski tutorials to help you improve your skiing. Please and thanks, just click it.
So how can you achieve golden rule number 2 and not lean back? Well, the answer lies in basic skiing posture. And good basic skiing posture starts at the ankle joint. The ankle is the most important joint in skiing, and we need to flex the ankles so the shins are leaning forwards into the boot and pressing on the fronts of the boots. And I find it's easier to achieve this by tipping my body forwards to pressure the shins on the fronts of the boots. But sometimes I also like to think about lifting the toes up towards my shins. And basically want the toes and the shins to move towards each other. Next up, you want to have a little bit of flex in the knees. And crucially also, you need to have some flex at the hip joint. So from side on, we make this sort of lightning bolt shape where the shins and the spine are roughly parallel with each other. And this is the basic skiing posture. And this posture is dynamic. You're going to move in and out of this position at different parts of the turn. But you can think of this posture as your default position that you want to revert back to. You also want to keep your hands just out in front of you, kind of like if you're carrying a tray. And another way of thinking about this is to keep your hands in the periphery of your vision. If they've dropped out of the periphery of your vision, then they're probably too far back. So the basic skiing posture, flex your ankles, your knees and your hips, make that lightning bolt shape from side on, keep your hands out in front. And this is a position that's going to help you to achieve golden rule number 2 of not leaning back.
So next time you go skiing, do a run and think about each of these focus points and then see which one resonates with you the most and which one you find the most helpful. If you'd like to train your ability to have perpendicular posture, then check out my ski drill library that I'll put a link to below the video.
So the other thing to be aware of is that when your skis tip down the slope away from you, you're going to have to lean even further forwards to remain balanced in the middle. So to illustrate this point, let's just imagine that this half of the pole is the slope that you're on. This half of the pole is your body. So if the slope is flat, standing upright kind of keeps you in the middle. But as that slope gets steeper, you're going to have to lean even further forwards in order to remain roughly perpendicular to your skis.
All right, now I'm blabbering on a bit. This is not a complicated video. Just remember that your instinct is going to be to lean back and to lean the way you're turning. And that's why so many people make these common mistakes. But the sooner you get the hang of the 2 golden rules, the sooner you can ski pretty much all slopes with control and confidence.
And to help with this, you can remember the 2 golden rules of ski technique: balance on the outer ski when turning, and don't lean back.
Nice and simple, easy to remember. I wish you good luck, bon courage. And if you can pull them both off, then you can gain the superpower of being a confident skier.
Thank you for watching that. I hope you found that useful. And please watch out for the next video on the silver rule of skiing technique.